I have seen countless lists online where the Disney villains have been ranked purely on someone's opinion. That's fair enough, but rather than just impart my completely judgmental opinion upon you, because I think we all know who'd win, I thought we'd try something different. Ranking them based upon the amount of exposure Disney has given them, I guess you could call this Disney's preferred list. I'm going to go through a whole bunch of Disney villains and score them based on whether they appeared in the following categories: animated feature, animated sequel, animated series, House of Mouse, live action feature, Once Upon a Time, Descendants, and the Disney theme parks. Theme parks can relate to any at least pretty regular appearance in an attraction show parade or as a meet and greet character. I guess I could also have looked at categories such as video games and novels, but that'll do for now. And today I'm just going to be looking at the principal villains from Disney animated features, sometimes with a secondary villain if there is one, and a couple of sidekicks just to round the number up to 50. Just one of Disney's villains fits into all those categories. I'd like to see if you can figure out who it is, and no skipping ahead in the video. Just before we do start, I'd like to give an honourable mention to one of Disney's most famous villains who never actually appears on screen. Man from Bambi. You can all go have a little cry now. Beginning with characters who make only the very qualifying entry onto this list, having only ever appeared in their animated feature, the oldest character here being Sykes from Oliver & Company. Of course, it's only natural that the most recent villains haven't had a chance to appear elsewhere yet, and we'll just have to wait and see whether Mother Gothel and Yokai appear in the upcoming Tangled and Big Hero 6 TV series. Of all the rankings, 2 is the most populated, with the main contributor being House of Mouse, boosting up the likes of Madame Mim, Prince John, Madame Medusa, the Horn King, and Shan Yu. Amos Slade instead appears in The Fox and the Hound 2, and Dr. Facilier has become a regular sight at the parks. 7 villains have a score of 3, including these Pinocchio villains, the Headless Horseman, and Frollo, who also appear in House of Mouse and at the parks. C and M have their appearance in Scamp's Adventure, with the Sheriff of Nottingham and Hans being the first on our list to appear in Once Upon a Time. Everything's looking pretty predictable right now, but get ready for a shocker. Scar only scored 4. I guess Disney really needs to speed along production of their live-action Lion King. Alongside him are Chernabog, amazingly, in Once Upon a Time, and Governor Radcliffe, who appears in Journey to a New World, both in House of Mouse and at the parks. Kronk, Gantu, and somehow Heffalumps and Woozles round out this section, those 3 appearing in sequels, series, and at the parks, though not very prominently. From now on, can we presume that everyone appears in House of Mouse? Because they do, and I'm just sick of saying it. And from here on in, being in a live-action adaptation, Once Upon a Time or Descendants, can really make all the difference. Ranking at 5, we have the very respectable villainous bunch of the Evil Queen, Queen of Hearts, Shere Khan, Kaa, Ursula, Gaston, Iago, Hades, and Isma. The only 2 that aren't all that present at the parks being Shere Khan and Kaa, yet we do have the live-action Jungle Book. Also, I've counted the Red Queen as the Queen of Hearts and given Gaston his premature live-action credit because I was feeling generous. I do have to say I was quite surprised to see such big hitters, the Evil Queen and Ursula, not rank any higher. Talking of big hitters, 6 of our 7 remaining villains score 6, with Lady Tremaine, Anastasia and Gisela, Captain Hook, Mr. Smee, Maleficent, and Jafar all missing out on that top spot. If you've ever been to the parks, you'll have felt their presence. They all appear in Once Upon a Time, all except Maleficent have an animated sequel, and they'll all be appearing in a live-action adaptation if they have not done already. This really is the level all inferior Disney villains should aim for. But it is not the top. Oh no, we're gonna skip right over 7 and jump straight into 8 because one villain, and one villain only, fits into all these categories. It is, of course, the Devil Woman herself, Cruella de Vil. Oh yeah, I didn't even need to give my opinion, she made it to the top anyway. I think this only confirms that Cruella is the greatest villain ever. No further argument necessary. And not only that, Cruella will be returning next year in a new live-action movie starring Emma Stone. I think I may need to add a new category. So there we have it, a somewhat unbiased ranking of the Disney classic villains. I'd be very curious to hear if you were surprised by any of the rankings and where your favourite villain ended up. Join in the discussion down below, and join me on Thursday as we discuss Disneyland in Florida. What? I am Joseph Worthington and this is Quella's Fur Coat. Be sure to subscribe for more Disney videos and don't stay too long.